So, welcome all. I am Diptiranjan Patnaik. I am from GL Bajaj Institute of Technology and Management, Greater Noida. And today we will study about the Gram-Schmidt orthogonalization process in digital communication system. Okay. So, these are the references. This is the modern digital and analog communication system, and the digital communication by Prokis, John G. Prokis. These are the reference books from where we can study these topics. So, first of all, before that Gram-Schmidt orthogonalization process, we have to see that what is the geometric representation of signals, how these signals are coming, and how the signals are transmitting in this in the digital communication system. So, whatever the you can see that whatever these terms are you are watching, these all are in terms of mathematics. Okay. So, we are always watching this as a n dimensional space. Okay. So, how this these so many bits are represented in the n dimensional space or n dimensional vector space, we can see by the use of Gram-Schmidt orthogonalization process. So, in general we know that the basis functions are there. This is, suppose I have two dimension, that is x, let us say this is y. I already know that I have basis function in the x direction I have I cap, and in the y direction I have j cap. Similarly, in the 3 dimension I can say that this is the I cap, j cap and k cap. So, these are the normal 2 dimensional, 3 dimensional basis function, but there are in the digital in general in the digital communication there are so many bits are there, so many signals are going. So, n number of signals are there. So, for that I have to represent this in the signal space. Okay. So, how I can represent this signal space, and so that they cannot overlap to each other, or and without any error we can send. So, that is why the Gram-Schmidt orthogonalization process is coming to play. So, we can see that this is the basic digital communication block diagram. This is the first is your message source. So, message source will generate the message signal. Okay. That is the MI, that is MI is nothing but 0 to m minus 1 number of message signals. So, one message is TMS, that is T1s, T2s, T3s, that is a delay means your M is nothing but your message points. Now, it is encoded with a vector, that is vector encoder. So, now this MI is encoded by a vector, it is represented by a SI equal to SI1, SI2 up to SIN. So, here you can see that I means here I lies between 0 to m minus 1. So, for SI, that is SI1, SI2 and SIN. Now, after vector encoder, the output of the vector encoder will pass through the modulator, and this modulator will give the SI in terms of time. Okay. So, in the function of time it will provide same SI in terms in the function of time. Now, this SIT is passing through the channel, that is your AWGN, that is additive wide Gaussian noise channel. So, this is the channel, this is the your noise. Okay. Now, what will happen, your output is your R, it is represented by R. This R equal to your how much, this is a input signal SIT and the noise N of t, that is your Ri of t in the form of vector. Now, at the demodulation, this RIT, the function time is reduced to simple Ri, that is Ri1, Ri2, that is up to Ri n. Now, at the vector decoder, what will happen? Like this, what will happen? This is the nothing but the whatever the mi is inserted, the mi cap, that is equivalent to mi due to the channel, due to the propagation is not exactly equal to input mi, but it is mi cap, and this is the input this is received at the messaging. So, decision is minimum the probability of error. So, decision how mi cap is extracted based on the minimum probability of error. Okay. This is the flow diagram of the channel, and this is the representation of the vectorial representation of this message inputs. Now, the message source is nothing but the one message symbol mi. With each time Tm seconds, there are m different symbols. Okay. So, m different symbols and all of them occur equally likely. Okay. So, m number of symbols are there. So, they occur equally. That is why the for each symbol the probability is how much is your 1 by m for each symbol. Okay. Similarly, vector encoder, what is the vector encoder? It maps, okay, it is mapping a symbol to a real valued vector or dimension. Okay. So, here these are the mi, okay, input was your mi, the vector encoder, your vector encoder, it just converts this mi to si, that is nothing but the si1, si2 up to sin, that is real valued vector. Okay. And the n, your n should be less than equal to your n should be less than equal to your m, that is si is nothing but 1 to m minus 1. Okay. So, 0 to m minus 1, and this is the modulator. Modulator is nothing but mapping a real valued vector, whatever the input to the modulator, this is input to a real valued waveform. Okay. The real valued vector to this is your real valued waveform in an interval 0 to Ts with finite energy. So, Si is converting in terms of a waveform. In terms of waveform means with respect to time. Okay. So, your energy is nothing but the your waveform Si square t dt in the period of 0 to t, that should be less than infinite. Now, channel is your RIT waveform equal to waveform Si of t plus n of t, where n of t is nothing but your additive white Gaussian noise at the channel. Now, before proceeding to the Gram-Schmidt orthonormalization process, we have to know that what is the orthogonal, orthonormal. This is the vector aspect you have already know in the mathematics also. Okay. So, we have to know some definitions. Okay. So, inner product of two real valued signals, that x of t and y of t defined on the interval 0 to t is defined by this is word, this is the inner product, this is the symbol, this is the inner product, that will be equal to integration x of t multiplied by y of t dt in the time interval 0 to t. So, norm, I want to find norm, that is length. Okay. What is the length from the origin of a signal? X of t is defined by x of t equal to, that is the root over of inner product, that is integration 0 to t x of t y t dt to the power half, that is nothing but this I know this one is your energy, this is the energy E, okay, square. So, this is your energy E to the power half, nothing but the root E. This is the energy of the signal and it should be greater than or equal to 0. Okay. Now, what is orthogonal set? So, a set of n signal waveforms, that is phi j t, where j lies between 1 to n. Okay, a set of n signal waveforms, that is signals. So, if the inner product equal to C j, some constant when I equal to j, and 0 when I not equal to j. Okay. So, if I equal to j means your phi I that will be equal to your some constant, then it is known as orthogonal set. Otherwise, if I and j are not equal, okay, if I and j are not equal, then it would be your 0. So, this is nothing but the orthogonal set. So, same in this output, if Cj is your constant 1, okay, Cj is your 1 for all j, that is Ej equal to 1, okay, that is energy, unit energy, then the signal set phi zt is called orthonormal. So, what will be the orthonormal? This is nothing but the, I can simply write if phi it and phi j equal to Cj, instead of Cj some constant, that is 1 unit energy, okay, if 1 when I equal to j and 0 when I not equal to j, then in that case we can say that the signal set, that is your phi zt, is your orthonormal, that is your 0 to t same, that is 0 to t, that we have already defined the inner product definition, that is 0 to t phi it phi zt dt equal to 1 if I equal to j, 0 if I not equal to j. Okay. So, in this slide we have seen that orthogonal and orthonormal. So, we can say in extent, any signal SIT in a set of m energy signals, that is SIT in the set of m energy signals, can be represented by linear combination of set of n orthonormal functions. Okay. So, SIT can be represented by the use of linear combination of set of n orthonormal functions. Okay. Orthonormal function, that is phi j t. So, SIT can be represented in terms of by the help of phi j t, where n equal less than your m. Now, how we can represent SIT? SIT equal to j equal to 1 to n, summation j equal to 1 to n, Sij phi j t. I can represent this Sij multiplied by phi j t from that is j equal to 1 to n, and I equal to nothing but your 1 to m, and t lies between 0 to t, where Sij, what is Sij? Sij is nothing but your SIT multiplied by phi j t, that I Si, this j, that is phi j t. So, this is your 0 to t SIT phi j t your dt. Before that it was if that is SIT it would be integration 0 to t SIT square dt. Now, but here I have different format. So, SIT multiplied phi j t dt over the integration 0 to t. So, what it gives actually? It gives the projection of SIT. Okay, it gives the projection Si of t on the phi j t. So, signals are there. This is a phi 1 t. This is the basis vector. This is the phi 2 t. This is line phi 3 t. So, if I have signal SIT S1 t, let's say. So, how much projection of S1 t in the direction of phi 1 t, how much projection of S1 t in the direction of phi 2 t, or how much projection of S1 t in the direction of phi 3 t, we can see. Okay, this integration symbolizes. Okay, this is it gives Sij. See, this is the it gives Sij, which is the projection of SIT on phi j t. So, the previous equation can be represented in the matrix form as SIT equal to Si1 Si2 up to Sin multiplied by your column vector phi 1 t up to phi n t. Okay. Thus, using the set of the basis functions, each signal SIT maps to a set of n real numbers, which is a n dimensional real valued vector. Okay. So, using again I am telling the using the set of basis functions, each signal SIT, okay, each signal SIT using the using set of basis functions maps to a set of n real numbers, which are n real numbers. They are mapped to n real numbers, which is an n dimensional real valued vector. These are n dimensional real valued vector. N dimensional real valued vector Si equal to Si1, Si2 up to Sin. This is a one-to-one correspondence between the signal set and the n dimensional vector space. One is your signal set and another is your n dimensional vector space. Okay. Now consider a set of m number. Okay, consider a set of m number of energy signals, where m represents the possible number of transmitted signals. Okay, m represents the possible number of transmitted signals, and this is the xi of t, where I equal to 1 to m, that is x1 t up to xm of t. Now let n be the number of orthonormal basis functions with n less than or equal to m. From first slide we are watching this. We can represent any signal xi of t as a linear combination of real valued and orthonormal basis function phi j t. Same previous slide, where j equal to 1 to n, that is n less than or equal to m. So I can represent this xi t as xi1 phi 1 t. That is in the previous slide this was your si1, this was your si2, this was your sin in the previous slide. Now it is I have given some xit. Now in terms of in place of si1, I can tell that xi1, xi2 up to xin. Now in the summation form I can write j equal to, this is equal to j equal to 1 to n, xi is j, phi j t, that is nothing but your xi of t. Okay. So in the pictorial form I can write like that. This is your Si 1 multiplier is there, Si 1 multiplied by phi 1, similarly Si 2 multiplied by phi 2, similarly Sin multiplied by phi n. So many stages are there. Okay, I can now then I can assemble this. Okay, assemble in the summation, that is your Si t. This is your Si t. Okay, this is your nothing but the Sij multiplied by phi j t, j equal to 1 to n. Okay, this is the your Si of t. So this is the generation of the signal from coefficients. How this signal is generated from the coefficients. Similarly, your xit equal to how much? I have already seen that j equal to 1 to n. Okay, this is j equal to 1 to n, xij phi j of t. Now your integration 0 to t, if I will integrate this like integration 0 to t xit multiplied by phi k t dt. Okay, if I will integrate this 0 to t multiplied by phi k of t dt, and similarly same case integration 0 to t same xit xij phi j of t into phi of k t dt. Okay, so xi of t same is coming. Now xi of t phi k of t dt equal to j equal to 1 to n for xij. Okay, so integration, because these are constant, this is the function of time. So phi j of t phi k of t dt in the interval 0 to t. So here 0 to t xit. Okay, I know the 0 to t xit phi k t dt equal to your xik. Similarly 0 to t xit phi j t equal to your xj t, which is nothing but your this is the analyzer, or it is also known as your receiver output. So this is the receiver output. The SIT is coming from the transmitter side, then phi 1 t up to phi n t multiplied, then integrate this 0 to ts dt. This is the integrate Okay. Now I will get the SI1, SI2 up to SIN, or I can write Xi bar equal to Xi1, Xi2 or Xin. Instead of Si, I have taken the X term. Okay. So any signal Xit can be represented by n dimensional vectors. Okay. Any signal Xit, okay, can be represented by n dimensional vector. Okay. So it forms n dimensional Euclidean space. Okay. So for BPSK, I can write for Xi nothing but the x1 is plus or minus root EB, and others are 0. Similarly for BASK, okay, it is root EB or 0. Okay, and all other terms are 0. So this is the energy of the signal. This is wrong. Okay, this is energy of the ith signal is nothing but the energy equal to Xi square. This is the energy form. This is again I can write like this. Again, instead of this I can write Xijk phi jk. Similarly Xit I can write Xik phi k t dt. So using orthogonality property, when j equal to k, the integral is unity, and for all other values this integral is 0. If j equal to k, then integral is a unit. Okay. So how can find EI? EI equal to integration j equal to 1 to n Xij square. I can write like this, and this is nothing but the square term. This is nothing but norm of Xij square. This is the energy of the signal, nothing but the energy of the signal is nothing but equal to squared length of the signal vector. This is the squared length of the signal vector. Okay. So this is the M signal. This is the input is nothing but the SIT for 0t and I equal to 1 to m. This is the summary phi j of t and less than equal to m orthonormal basis functions. So I can get SIT equal to this much. I have already told this is the algo. Okay. So this is the one example. Check whether the signal phi 1t and phi 2t scattered in the figure are orthogonal. These signals are orthogonal or not. Okay. Then obtain the corresponding orthogonal functions. Express the given signals x1t, x2t, x3t in terms of phi 1 and phi 2t. We will see. So first we will check phi 1 to phi 2 whether they are orthogonal or not. So I can see the phi 1t multiplied phi 2t into 0 to t. This is the period 0 to 2. So I can see that 1, okay, this is the 1, okay, 0 to t. So 1 multiplied 1 t dt. Similarly 1 to 2 again it is 1 and minus 1 t dt. This is the phi 2t. So it is a 0. So this is the integration 0, that is nothing but the orthogonal. For orthogonal the signal should have a unit energy. Okay. For phi 1t it is energy is nothing but 1 to 2 your 1 square dt, that is your 2j. It is also not equal to 1. So phi 1t, how obtain the corresponding orthogonal functions. To obtain the orthogonal functions, we have to find out phi 1t equal to phi 1t divided by root E1. So your phi root E1, that is phi 1t, that is divided by that your root E1 is root 2, that is a normalized. Okay. So E2 similarly, E2 I can get E2 as a also 2j is not equal to 1. So phi 2 dash t is nothing but your phi 2t again normalized with root E2, and I will get phi 2 of t. So I can represent this one is phi 1t root 2 because we have 1 just divide root 2. So I will get this one. Similarly divided phi 2 divided by root 2, I will get 1 by root 2 minus 1 by root 2. Last one is your, I have given phi 1 x1t, x2t and x3t in terms, I have to write in terms of phi 1t and phi 2t. So I got the, this is the phi 1t and this is a phi 1t, this is a phi 2t. So I can write this is a x1t is how much? This is a nothing but a phi 1t plus phi 2t. See, this is 1 plus 1, this is the 2 terms, and this is, if I will, this is 1, this is 1, this one and this one, it will cancel out and it will be 0. Similarly x2t, how I can get? This is a phi 1t minus phi 2t. This is 1 and 1, it is 0, and this would be this much minus this much, it would be, this is 1, this is minus 1. So this would be minus 2. Now for this x theta is how much I will get is a phi 1 t minus, I can represent this phi 2 t minus phi 2 t minus phi 1 phi 2 t minus phi 1 t. Okay, this is 1 minus 1 0, and this is the minus 1 minus 1. This is this will equal to your plus 2. Okay, this is the representation of this type of signal in terms of orthogonalization process, and this is the part of the orthogonalization Gram-Schmidt orthogonalization algorithm, and we will see next class. Okay, thank you.